Let me mention two things that would make a big difference. One of the things is that we have trade agreements that we actually enforce. Again, I say I'm a free trade guy. I believe that's a good thing when we have the opportunity to trade back and forth. But that trade agreement ought to be enforced so that both sides are playing by the same sets of rules. And when one side's playing by the rules and the other one isn't, that's not a completely free trade agreement because there's nothing fair about it. When the Chinese can ship products into our country that have lead paint on them, when they don't have the same regulatory environment that our companies do, I've often said there are three things that'll create job migration, where jobs disappear. Excessive taxation, excessive regulation, and excessive litigation. You add those three things together on an American company and you'll see job migration. And currently, last year alone, we had a $232 billion trade deficit with just China. Part of what has to happen is, again, enforcing the agreements that we supposedly have. But the second thing goes back to what I said about taxes. Anything built in America has an embedded 22% tax because companies ultimately don't pay taxes. They build it into the cost of the products and they pass it on to the customers. Under the consumption tax model, there is no corporate income tax. There's no individual income tax. You're not penalized for producing something. Right now, if somebody manufactures the same product you do in Europe, under the rules, they don't pay a VAT tax for something they export, only the things they keep internally. So it comes to this country without the tax, but if you manufacture it here, it has the embedded 22% tax built into it. The real amazing thing is not how many jobs we're losing, it's the fact that we're not losing more given how tough the climate is for us to compete. And the only reason we are is because the productivity of the American worker is superior to that of virtually anybody in the globe, because we have to work more creatively and we have to work harder because of the distinct built-in disadvantages that our tax system holds for a company like you trying to manufacture. That's why a major change, which I think 80% of the people in this country want something major changed. I realize I'm in New Hampshire up here in New England, but in the Deep South we have a statement that if you can't fix something with duct tape and WD-40, it can't be fixed. Well, folks, let me tell you, you can't fix our tax system even with duct tape and WD-40. We need something really different, and part of that would help us to keep those jobs here, and we wouldn't be losing increasing levels, particularly of manufacturing jobs.